Yo, what's good YouTube? So, Yo, what's good YouTube? So this is my first video, first of many. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Ruben Vella and I'm an illustrator, designer, painter from London. I've collaborated with MTV, Chris Brown's Clothing Line, Black Pyramid, Section Boys and Andre Berto, to name a few. And yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how I design. So this is the Wacom Cintiq 16, which is the tablet I use, which you can see right here. I strongly recommend this tablet for someone who wants to convert into Wacom or wants to convert into a drawing tablet, because the price is very flexible, because the Wacoms are mad expensive. Only that's why I never had a Wacom. Only now, until I saw this one, I was like, yeah, this one's good, just to start off with. And yeah, I noticed a big difference in my art and my art style. And yeah, I feel like it took me to the extra level. So yeah, so before we get into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with the world, share with the planets, share with the aliens. So the first thing in the video is going to be more for beginners. So basically, insight of how to use Illustrator and how to ink, how to color, how to shade, how to use gradients, the lot. And yeah, and the second section will be more into detail, so you basically see me full on designing my character design, which I'm gonna do. So yeah, I decided to do a character design because who doesn't like character design? So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so the first thing you wanna do is open up Photoshop to do your character sketch. I prefer to use Photoshop because I prefer the brushes and they're more rough, artistic kind of look. You'll find these brushes on the left hand side on the tool menu, and you'll have a variety of different brushes you'll use, so just play around with it and see what brush you prefer to sketch with. Alright, now that we've sketched our character, we're going to save the file, I'll name that sketch 1, then we're going to open it on Illustrator. Alright, so now that we've got Illustrator opened up, we're going to put the opacity down, so open that to 31, and we're going to create a layer. Before we do that, let's rename our sketch layer, so we'll name it to sketch, then create a new layer, which will be our inking, so we're going to name that as inking. So on the left hand side is our toolbar. You want to look for the curvature pen tool, so the curvature tool, which for short I call it a curve pen tool. So make sure you got a black inking and no fill. This is how we create our straight line. So if you do 2 anchor points, it creates a straight line like so, which is very easy. If you create more than 2 anchor points, it curves it like so. This is why it's called a curve pen tool. This is why it's very handy for us to start inking over our character, because it automatically makes it smooth. So now if you double click on the anchor points, it straightens up the lines, like so. So let's make our line curvy again. So double click on the anchor points. So now that we've done that, let's change the width of our stroke. So go to the width tool on the left, and then basically if you drag your anchor point in, it basically makes the line thin. If you drag it out, it makes it thick. So you're basically amending the size of your anchor points, like so. So now we've got a smooth stroke, easing in and easing out. So now basically I'm going to show you guys how you can automatically change the texture of the stroke. So now basically what you want to do is highlight the stroke you just created and go to basic at the top. There's a variety of brushes you can change to, but let's keep it simple. Let's keep the default one that's already there. So you can see it automatically change it to like a rough sketch, but we're going to keep it straight. So because it's our final ink, we'll keep it straight and bold. So once you've done that, I'm going to show you guys how to do it on the character. So double click on your character. So we're basically going to trace our sketch. So double click on the anchor points when it's necessary to keep the line straight, and then don't double click when you want the lines to curve around the character, like so. So this basically takes time to get used to it. Once you get used to it, it'll be very easy to ink out your character, and it's a very handy tool to use. You save a lot of time instead of hand drawing it constantly and redoing it, trying to make each line perfect. But for now, let's use width 1. So if you click on that, it will basically automatically change it into the technique we did before by amending the width of the brush, but it's basically a shortcut way to do it. So like I said, just practice using anchor points and using the curve pen tool, because then it'll come very easy to you, because you're basically tracing your sketch. So let's fast forward it to basically the final inking. So fast forward that, we have basically done the inking, so let's zoom in and have a closer look. I'm happy how it came out, everything's in place, everything's smooth. So that's how easy inking is on Illustrator. So now the next step is coloring. So this is probably my favorite part. So now I'm gonna give you an example how people normally color on Illustrator or even Photoshop. So you color behind the layer. This is what they normally do. But I'm gonna show you guys a shortcut way how to do that automatically just by one click. So I'm gonna do an example on the side here, how to color. So basically what I'm gonna do is get the curve pen tool and just do any random shape next to your character and make a thin line in the middle. So remember, go to uniform 1. So what I'm gonna do is basically highlight that, go to object, expand appearance. What that basically allows you to color in the inside when there's thin lining. If you don't do that, it won't let you. Highlight it again, go to live paint and make. So now you see what that'll do. Click on any color and this basically highlights the section, and you can one click, it's colored in. So instead of hand coloring in and wasting time, you can get it colored in one click. So let's do that to a character. Because I already done that to my character, it won't show, but let's imagine it showing. So go to object, live paint, make, and now that I've done that, I'm clicking the random colors, by the way. So now that I've done that, it allows me to color any section of my character, of the inking we created. So that's how easy it is. So now I'm going to fast forward it. You can see me really coloring my character. So the character is slowly coming together. At the top you'll see I have my color palettes. I normally have my color palette saved, so it basically saves me time instead of picking colors while I'm designing. At least I have it ready there. You will see me experiment with different colors, because there might be some colors that look better than others or look better than the one that I've picked. So yeah, so now you're basically going to see me color everything in, and yeah, let's get into the video. So now that I've selected my base colors for my character, let's work on the lighting. So let's create a black background behind our inking, because I always do everything space theme. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a gradient just for us to have a sense of what direction the lighting's coming in. Then we're going to create an overlay on the character. So basically duplicate the layer of the inking, put a pink fill and no lining on top of it, and bring down the opacity. So now we're going to work on the shadows. So what we're going to do is create a new layer, and we'll name that shadow 1. So create a new layer, shadow 1, and make sure it's at the top, because you want it to be above everything else. So make sure the fill is black and the inking is is nothing, there's no fill for inking. So what you're gonna do now is basically indicate where the shadow is gonna be. So if the lighting's coming from the left, that means the shadow is gonna be on the right hand side. So same technique we do with the inking, add the anchor points when necessary, but this time we've got a fill, so it's filling the color up with black. So yeah, this is more just if your shadow game is good, make sure your shadow and lighting game is good. If not, just practice. Just practice, keep practicing, and then it will naturally come to you. The shadow is also one of my favorite parts because that's when the character comes to life and it brings more depth to the character, and that's when the character really starts to stand out, when the shadow and the lighting's there. So yeah, so keep practicing that, and hopefully over time you'll get the hang of it. So now we're going to work on the lighting. So same again with the curved pencil, but make it feel pink or whatever color you want your lighting to be on your character. So because the lighting comes from the left, now it's going to be more on the edges, on the skin, on like the edges of the scarf, the jacket. So this is when, like I said, this is when the character comes to life and it brings more depth and perspective to it. So make sure your lighting game is on top. Make sure your lighting game is good. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys how to add a glow. So basically I'm going to highlight my hair, my character's hair, which I have a separate layer for, and go to Effect, Stylize, Outer Glow. So I like to do this in two sections. So let's firstly select our color. So I want the glow to be yellow because the hair is yellow. So let's select that, okay. So go to opacity 100, this is my settings that I normally use. And then I'll do the blur on 1. But make sure you click preview so you can see how it looks. So press 1. And okay. So now we're going to do it again a second time. So same thing, stylize, outer glow. Press preview. So now you see it's kind of harsh. So now I want to make that more subtle. So let's bring out the blur to around 6. I'm going to put opacity down to around like 20 or 30. So let's put the opacity down to 441 in fact. So now you can see the glow is very subtle, it's a nice subtle look. So that's basically how you add a glow. So now I'm going to add that same technique to the highlights later on, which you'll see. So now I'm using the same technique for my highlight, adding glow to that, just to make the character stand out more, the highlights. And then we're also going to add lightning bolts. In fact, let me add a phone light first. So same technique I said before, so effect, Stylized Out Glow. So let's add lightning bolts in between our horns. That's how he's gonna generate electricity for his phone, which I thought was a dope idea. I use glow a lot in my characters because I normally do like a space kind of theme, and it's always a black background, so it's always good to use glow, and it stands out because of the contrast and colors. So now we're going to take our file into Photoshop and we're going to remove the background. You'll see why later. So open our character design up, Photoshop, character 1, boom. So now we've got our character into Photoshop. So we're at the final stages of our character design. So let's put a background, and I'm going to add stars, but because I already have that already saved, I'll just drag the image in to save time. But you can do that just by drawing white dots basically with the brush tool at the top. So basically I'm going to show you guys a little tweaks I like to do in Photoshop. So go to your menu bar on the left, and if it's not there, it'll be one of these 3 icons there. So I'm going to firstly change it to burn tool. So basically what the burn tool does, it basically enhances the shadows. So if you click over it, it will make certain sections of the character darker. So this adds basically extra depth. So let's put the exposure to 20 first, and make sure your brush is at a reasonable size. So if you go over your character to dark areas, it will enhance the shadows basically. So I like using this because it basically adds extra depth. So the more depth, the more appealing and the more your character stands out basically. That's how I see it. So yeah, I'm basically adding extra shadows to certain places of my character that I believe the shadows should be more enhanced. So yeah, just play around with it, see what section of character look better. So now we're going to change the burn tool to the dodge tool, which I had at the very beginning. So this is basically the highlights, so make sure exposures are reasonable now. So I'm at mine on 22, and basically go over your highlights. So bits that are highlighted, bits that are showing lighting, you can go over it and you're basically enhancing the lighting. So again, it adds extra depth and makes your character more appealing and stands out. So this is a technique that I actually learned from photography. So we're on the final stages of the character, so let's add one last lighting. So what we're going to do is right click on your character and go to blending option. So once you've done that, go to the top where it says Bevel and Emboss. You can see red automatically appeared, that's from the previous settings I used, but because it's a different design, let's adjust that. So you can play around with the depth, the size, the soften, and the angle of the shading. So I'm not sure how your character's looking, obviously it's not going to be the same as this, but whatever side you put the light in, you can change the direction of that. So let's change our light into blue because of the electric bolts. So here you can change what angle you want your shading to come through. So you can put it from the bottom, from the top, from the side. So let's put it from the right hand side because that's what the lighting's coming from. So yeah, this is another easy shortcut way to add lighting to your character. So this is why I like to bring this into Illustrator to Photoshop, because you see the tweaks we've been doing, and you can actually not do that on Illustrator. So yeah, so our character is basically done now. Let's just add extra tweaks to it. So now that we finished the character, I'm gonna add my logo, Varela Arts, which is my artist name, which is what I'm known for my art. Varela Arts, just add that in, and yeah, we're set to go. So yeah, let's break this down now. Obviously the sketch we did at the very beginning in Photoshop, and then we took it into Illustrator, did the inking with the curve pen tool. Then once we did that, we did the coloring with the live paint on Illustrator, and then we did the shadows. So just identifying the shadows and the lighting, and then just extra things I wanted to put on, extra detail on the final piece. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you like the character, how it came out, and yeah, I'm happy how it came out. And yeah, like I said, just keep nerding out Illustrator and Photoshop. The more you use it, you'll naturally discover things without you looking at tutorials. And yeah, it's just about putting the work in and putting the hours and nerding it out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned to the next one, and let's go. Also, in case you didn't notice, this is my merch. I designed it myself, so I dropped this about 2 weeks ago. It's almost sold out, so you want to quickly head to the website in my bio, www.relax.com, which is my website, which I sell everything. And yeah, if you're feeling it, cop it. This is how I'm gonna come in. This is how I'm gonna come in. Huh? I'm coming in this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with the world, share with the planets, share with the aliens. You know.